What is up, guys and gals? Welcome to episode number 186 of the Nonsense Review. I'm your host, as always, Devon, and joining me equally as always is Rick.
Hello, everybody.
I don't have a number fact today because 186 is dumb, but when you're hearing this, hey, congratulations. On this day in 1791, the Magic Flute by Mozart premiered in Vienna.
Oh, okay.
And 2 months later, Mozart was dead.
Ah, yes, that is a fun fact.
But yes, today we're doing Queen of Villains. Do you want some background information, Rick?
Yeah, because all I know about it is that it's Dump Matsumoto.
Do you know who that is?
No.
I've got some good news for you. No, do I, because I don't watch Japanese wrestling, and this was way before my time, but let's get into it. So yes, You're correct. It's about Dump Matsumoto, aka Kaoru Matsumoto. She was a killer heel for All Japan Women's Pro Wrestling. By all accounts, she had a very stereotypical start to her wrestling career in that she wanted to be a fiery babyface. Turns out there's a lot of fiery babyfaces, especially in women's wrestling in Japan, so she turned into a killer heel. Yeah,
and apparently she was incredibly successful as one.
In Japan, correct. She had a feud with the... Oh, I've forgotten their name. The Golden... No, not the Golden Girls. That's fucking Betty White. Something. There's a tag team, and they were basically the equivalent of Hulk Hogan, but in Japan, Japanese female wrestling. So, you know.
Okay.
So she would be essentially the Macho Man Randy Savage, if you like, or the Andre the Giant, however you want to cut it.
Sure.
Yeah, the only...
Now I'm just imagining having a wrestling match with Betty White.
Truth be told, the only Japanese women's wrestler I'm actually familiar with is one Bull Nakano. She had a brief stint in the WWF. Turns out she is Dump Matsumoto's tag team partner.
Okay, fair enough.
And both of them had a brief stint in the 80s in WWF. However, Vince McMahon hates both women and tag team wrestling, so they never really had a fucking chance.
Yep.
Brief list of accolades right here. She is a one-time AJW champion. For context, that's the third highest belt in the company.
Mm-hmm.
She is a two-time WWWA World Tag Team Champion, once with Kran Yu and once with Bull Nakano, all 3 members of the Atrocious Alliance.
Ah, sweet.
This might be slight spoiler territory, but she is the first ever winner of the Tag League, which, it's a yearly tag team tournament. She won it with Bull Nakano.
I'm sure that won't happen in episode 1.
I don't think so, because it's going to start with her debut, and again, by all accounts, her debut was not successful.
Yeah. So, hopefully we'll be seeing, like, the rags part of the Rags to Riches story.
Hopefully so. And she's in both the AJW Hall of Fame and the Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame.
Okie dokie.
The show we're about to watch is described as semi-biographical, so I'm expecting this to be heavily doctored to make it seem better than it actually was. There's going to be some low lows and high highs, and I'd have no doubt they're based on reality, but I think there's going to be some kayfabe influences in this.
Yeah, and how did they put it in The Simpsons? Dramatization may not have happened.
Well, I saw the trailer for this, and a lot of the trailer is the title character, Dump Matsumoto, saying how she'll kill everyone, and I'm sure in kayfabe that was her character, but in reality, you won't last long in wrestling if you do that.
Yeah.
And fun fact that I learned while doing a bit of research, because I look at wrestling news sites, is one Alexa Bliss provides the English voice for Maki Ueda.
Okay. I'm assuming that she's another wrestler.
Alexa Bliss is a wrestler, current day. Maki Ueda is, I don't know, it might be a wrestler for AJW, it might be a manager, it might just be a friend of the main character. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, we might find out.
This is true. And because we're doing a wrestling thing, Rick, I was wondering if you'd like to play a quick game of Guess the Gimmick.
Oh, the gimmick. Okay, so Queen of Villains.
You see, Guess the Gimmick. I've prepared some names for you for people who have obvious gimmicks, and I was wondering if you could guess them. Dump Matsumoto is a bit of an obvious one as to what her gimmick is, because it's very much in her name.
Yeah, dump. She hits you like a dump truck.
Literally.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go with Guess the Gimmick.
Alright, I've got 6 names here, and they're going to get steadily more difficult. Are you ready?
Let's go.
The first one, Andre the Giant.
Andre the Giant, he is a big fucking lad.
Yeah, he's a giant. He's the 8th wonder of the world.
Yeah.
That's 1 point for you. Second one, Jake the Snake Roberts.
Oh, as a snake, is he? He's a skinny guy who's a bit of a bastard.
He's not that skinny, but he is slippery like a snake and a bit of a bastard. He also carries a snake to the ring. I'll give you that one.
Okay, so 2.
Number 3, Isaac Yankem, DDS.
Isaac Yankem. So I don't know what the DDS is going to stand for, but does he go for the squirrel tackle, where he goes for the nuts?
No, he's a wrestling dentist.
Okay.
Isaac Yankum.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, yanks him. Okay.
Number 4, the Bushwhackers.
Oh, they're Australian.
Oh, you're so close. New Zealand.
Oh, New Zealand. Okay.
Second to last one here, Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Okay.
Oh, you know
I've heard of this guy, but I don't know anything about him because I knew someone on Phantasy Star whose name was Hacksaw Jim Cutton.
I've also brought him up on the podcast several times.
Yeah. Does he have a hacksaw?
No, he carries a 2x4.
Okay.
He's also very much American patriot.
Yes.
Okay, last one. Jushin Thunder Liger.
Jushin Thunder Liger.
Now,
is he a Siegfried and Roy themed animal owner?
No, he's not. I was just about to say, this is the toughest one to get based on the name alone. He's basically a Sentai hero.
Okay. Fair enough. See, I'm going to go with my 2 points.
Did you get 2 points? I thought you got 3. Oh, no, you didn't get Isaac Yankum. Never mind. Ignore me.
No,
I'd say 2.5 for Bushwankers.
Yeah,
Bushwankers?
The Bushwankers.
Oh, Bushwhackers even. Oh. Yeah, that was Guess the Gimmick. If we ever do wrestling-themed things again, I'll have 6 more wrestlers for you to guess, Rick.
Sure.
But yeah, that about does it for the brief rundown. Now, those of you familiar with the show probably know that before we get into the meat and vegetables of the review itself, we like to talk about our weeks and the goings-on in the wide universe. Slightly different today in that we had last week off because, if you can't tell, I've still got lingering effects of an illness. So yeah, we've got 2 weeks instead. Rick, how have your weeks been, buddy?
Well, a friend of mine came and stayed for the weekend. Well, it's now last weekend, and we ended up seeing Alien Romulus, which I enjoyed. It's more close to, I assume, the first Alien in that there is, they bring up the old Bilbo guy. They digitally recreate him as the android, because I guess he was the android in the first one. And they bring back the original xenomorph from the first movie as the xenomorph that they have salvaged from space and salvaged shit from and cloned. And that happens in the first 10 minutes.
There's nothing about that sentence that I enjoyed.
Yeah, fair enough.
I've not seen this movie. I'm not going to see this movie. So you go ahead and share your feelings and share plot points as much to your heart's content. I'm so disenfranchised with this franchise.
Yeah. Well, they bring a lot of elements in from the more recent things, like Prometheus. There is a final boss creature, which is another human-alien hybrid, and it looks a lot like the engineers from the Prometheus movies.
I'm really bothered about that, to be honest, because, again, the xenomorph is technically already a human-alien hybrid.
Yeah, so this is a weird one where it's the person who gives birth to this doesn't get xenomorphed. She just gets given some of the goop while she's pregnant, and then she just gives birth to a fresh new egg.
Oh, so they're just shitting on all the lore then?
Yeah. Like, they have regular xenomorph things, like the face huggers and all that, and normal xenomorphs come out from that. But the goo is something that they've... it was introduced in Prometheus as like a primordial thing that all the xenomorph stuff can come from, but... yeah, it seems to evolve over multiple iterations to what we see as xenomorphs. But it was reasonably fine. I really enjoyed the set dressing because the cassette punk stuff that they have going on was really cool.
Fair enough.
It was really nice seeing the 80s aesthetic again. And then the other thing I did was I watched the Rick and Morty anime up to episode 5. It's par. I don't regret the time that I spent watching it. Rick is a lot less abrasive in this than he is in the original series.
I'm very confused. There's a Rick and Morty anime. What?
Yeah, and I still don't know what's going on.
I don't understand. So what is this? Is this actually like a straight up... Because Rick and Morty works on weird rules anyway, is this actually straight up just a spin-off, or is it a different continuality, or what? What's the deal?
I don't know if it's meant to be the main universe or not. But they do show the Cronenbergs at one point, so they do show that version of the universe, which was the original universe that they fled from.
So it's an offshoot. It's not.
So it's probably an offshoot. But yeah, Morty gets a girlfriend who is an alien alien that experiences time from their birth to their death all at once.
Fun.
Which is, yeah. And they've been hunted to extinction because some people don't like the fact that they know all their secrets.
Okay.
Voltron is leaving Netflix.
Hang on. It's a Netflix original, isn't it?
Yep.
It's just the DreamWorks bullshit.
Yep.
Okay.
It's part of the DreamWorks bullshit. So the DreamWorks bullshit is after 6 years have passed, I believe. They get removed from Netflix.
Yeah, this is going to be happening to She-Ra as well, by the way.
Yes, at the end. 6 years from the air date of the last thing that they upload. Yeah. So for She-Ra, that means 2026.
That's some bollocks.
Yeah.
Wait, so how are you going to watch this shit afterwards?
Yarhar. Well, it's either that or there might be something that DreamWorks are going to do, like with a different streaming service, because I believe DreamWorks is owned by Universal, which is owned by Comcast. So general Universal stuff, like if there's going to be a Universal streamer, then it'll probably end up on that at some point.
Okay, yeah, this is making me very much shake my head at Netflix. Like, I've been loyal to Netflix. Like, I've been loyaler than I perhaps should be, because it's one of those where it was the first one and it used to be easy, and now they keep jacking the prices up. You have to pay extra if you want HD. I don't give a fuck about HD shit.
Yeah.
You have to pay extra for this, you have to pay extra for Y. They've got a new tier, I believe, where you can have ads, which is all that's rubbed me the wrong way with every streaming service that's doing it.
Yeah. They release a new tier that's the old price, but with ads. Yeah.
So if you're doing this thing now where even the stuff that has your logo on it and your branding saying this is Netflix original, which means it's yours, and that goes away, get fucked.
Yeah. I mean, Disney have done this already with things like Willow, but yeah, that's just stuff that they decided, we don't want it anymore.
Yeah, but
so
guess what?
Got rid of it.
I was also an arsehole to Disney as well, and it's easier to be an arsehole to Disney because they were the new game in town anyway, so they had no fucking prior goodwill in my book.
Yeah. But yes, that's rubbed me up the wrong way, but it's coming. It's leaving in December, so that's as long as I've got to watch it, because I was gonna maybe dip my toe into it. Now I've got a timer on it. We got the PlayStation State of Play.
We did. I didn't really tune into this because I don't care, but I've got the list of announcements in front of me. Just go through the ones that you care about, Rick.
Yeah. So Horizon Zero Dawn gets a remaster.
You care
it's a $10
about this?
upgrade. Yeah, I care about it. It's a $10 upgrade if you got the old one, but they doubled the price of the original just so you can't get it cheap. Because it's really old, so it's like gone down to like $20 now. Then no, they've put it back up to like $40, so you can't get the new one cheap.
I don't like Horizon Zero Dawn anyway. The concept never grabbed me, so I've never played them. There's games more deserving of a remaster, I think. Not because the game was bad, but because the game is not even 10 years old.
Oh, yeah, and it still looks good.
Yeah.
And it's playable on PC, where you can do all the things that you need to do to a game like that. You know, just like stick a mod on it to unlock like full frame rate and all that.
Speaking of Horizon in general, do you think it's a strong enough IP to get its own Lego game? Because I don't.
I don't think so, but it has anyway. Like, I also don't think Pharrell Williams is a strong enough IP to get a Lego movie, but oh well.
You see, here's the thing though, is that he appeals to younger audiences. Younger audiences will be like, oh, I know this person. Let's see the Lego movie.
Yeah, and also, you know, he sings a lot of songs on Despicable Me, so you know that's how I know him.
I know him because I believe he did the Be Happy song.
Yeah. That's that turns out that was from Despicable Me 1.
Well, I didn't know that was from a movie.
Yeah. Fantasia Neo Dimension. This was a game that was on the iOS Apple Arcade from like 2021, and now it's becoming a real game. This is the one that's made by Sakaguchi from Final Fantasy, and the music by Nobuo Uematsu, and all of the levels are a model that someone has physically built. So you got these like really cute little dioramas that all of the areas are.
Oh, fair enough.
So I'm actually really looking forward to that one. We got to see more of Veilguard, which I'm now avoiding until launch at the end of next month.
Yeah,
at the end of this month, if you're watching at the beginning of next month.
I was going to say this still comes out in September, Rick.
Yes. And from that, I've also learnt that only 3 things matter in Veilguard from what came before. what you did with Solus, what you did with the Inquisition, and who you romanced, and everything else is just broad strokes not taken care of.
That's fine.
Kind of, yeah. Because sometimes it was a bit disingenuous when they just tried to shovel something in. But yeah, we're not going to see Morrigan's kid, for instance, because she's not part of the plot. We're not going to see who is the Divine because we're looking at the other side of the world. And like that's not kind of being relevant to the story. Dynasty Warriors Origins.
Yeah, we got a very brief gameplay trailer for this. Obviously, I'm on the ball for this because I enjoy that series in general. Yeah, so you appear to be some sort of otherworldly OC, and that's how they're going to explain why you're fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
Which, fair enough. The last time we got news about this game, I said, I don't know how the fuck they're going to do this, and they're just going to hand wave wishy-washy. Wizard did it, and fine, fair enough, fuck it.
Yeah. So hopefully it's fun. Monster Hunter Wilds coming out on the 28th of February. Hyped for that. I'm going to get it on PC.
Yeah, it's coming out. I'm going to go ahead and piggyback off this for a moment because it means I can get rid of another news article for my part, if that's okay.
Sure.
It's coming out on the exact same day as Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii.
Oh man, yeah, that looks really fun.
Do you know what's really wild about this? Because I learnt this like an hour after the announcement.
Go ahead.
The entire plot of this got leaked earlier this year on 4chan, and everyone looked at it and went, shut the fuck up, because it was just so much obvious bullshit, and they got everything right. Everything mentioned in that 4chan green text shitpost leak was entirely correct, including the name Madlantis.
Oh man.
Like, for real, people have technically known about this for months, but they all written it off as bullshit, and I don't blame them.
Yeah, absolutely.
I messaged you when this trailer came out, Rick, and my exact words were, oh my god, I'm creaming myself right now.
Yeah, like Chef's Kiss having Majima as a pirate, by the way.
Oh yeah, man. Majima's been a protagonist all of 3 times. Once in Zero, once as part of the Core 4 for Dead Souls, which is a spin-off most Yakuza fans like to forget about, and now this, which is also going to be I assume not real, not real, but no, it's clearly a spin-off game. It's not a mainline series game.
Yep. And Palworld took a little break from getting sued to release on the PlayStation as well.
Yeah, let's talk about Palworld getting sued, because that's news as well.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, is a lot of people are making jokes and being like, oh, Nintendo, you can't sue them for gameplay mechanics. Which is true, they can't, for multiple reasons. 1, you can't own gameplay mechanics. 2, the game doesn't play like Pokemon. That's not what they're getting sued for. They're getting sued over PAL designs. Which, again, I did that Smash Pass way before I touched Palworld. And the amount of times I went, oh yeah, that does look like Thing, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's just a Cinderace that's green. Yeah, like a lot of them look like fan designs for regional variants of existing Pokemon.
And that being said, I also don't think Nintendo is in the right here.
Oh, no, because things like Lovander, that's very definitely a parody.
I don't give a fuck about this parody aspect. Like, you're correct, by the way. Like, that is very much a parody and a piss take. However, fuck the parody rules for a minute. Pokemon are based on animals.
Yeah.
You can't copyright an animal
these things
design.
are just you definitely can't copyright public domain things either. So like the Anubis one, that it looks like Lucario, but that's just what Anubis looks like. So when you make that into a cartoony thing, you end up with Lucario.
Yeah, except they didn't need to give it dreadlocks. Like, that's the part where it's like, I don't. Here's the thing. I know there's very much 2 sides of the coin here, where people are like, you shouldn't steal from other people's intellectual property. As far as I'm concerned, they're not.
For a lot of them, yeah. For some of them, yeah. Like the ones where you've very definitely got that Pokemon's face is part of this design, or like Dinosaur is one of my favorite pals, but it is literally just a mishmash of like 3 different Pokemon.
Yeah, but you just said a mishmash of 3 Pokemon, which means it's not just a copy paste of a Pokemon.
Oh yeah, totally.
Like, that's totally. Just it. Like, legally distinct is a thing, is a joke a lot of people use, but if it's legally distinct, if it invokes the image of something, that's fine, as long as it's not copy paste. If they can prove that they literally copy and pasted everything then fine. I think that's a bit scummy on Power World's part. I still don't think Nintendo should be suing them for it.
Yeah, they even removed one of them from the game for being too close to being the original Pokemon.
Yeah, I don't even know what you're talking about because I didn't follow it back then.
Yeah, one of the ones it's still in the game data, and you can hack it in, but it was removed from the PAL deck for being basically just a Luxray.
Okay, cool. I wasn't sure what power you were describing or what Pokemon you were describing, so that was the only information that was relevant to me.
Yeah. The PlayStation 5 Pro is getting a 30th anniversary PS1 style release, and within, minutes, they've all been bought by scalpers.
Yep, there's a silver lining to this one slightly, and that is eBay is taking complaints seriously, and if you report something for jacking up the price of a PS5, they are taking down the listings.
Oh, yeah.
But,
fair enough.
You know, they can only do that so many times. They can only be so on top of the ball.
Yeah, eventually one of these sales will go through, and eBay will have their slice of the pie either way. They look cool, but I don't think it's worth a 40% premium over what the PS5 Pro already is, and the PS5 Pro is already not worth the 30% premium over the PS5, in my opinion.
But here's the thing, is that at the end of the day, it's just different side plates and a controller skin. It's bollocks, but that's how Sony...
Yeah.
That's how Sony gonna be.
You can only get them in this bundle as well. You can only get the side plates in this, whereas the controller you can get separately.
Give it a couple of weeks, and if it's popular enough, people on it. I could guarantee you someone was already doing this on Etsy.
Oh, yeah. Give it a couple of weeks, there'll be a Chinese version of the same damn thing.
And I've got to be honest with you, if I was changing the side plates on my PS5, I think it would look better as a PS2 rip-off than a PS1 one.
Yeah, I get you. Absolutely. But yeah, I think that's about it. People have heard enough from me. What have you done? What have you seen? And how have you been?
Well, very quickly before I move on, there is just two more things I want to talk about with the State of Play.
Okay.
We've got this is actually a fucking remake/remaster that we deserved, and that is Blood Omen Legacy of Kain. It's going to be a remaster of Legacy of Kain 1 and 2.
Yeah. So I've got friends who are really hyped for this. I was kind of parallel to this series when I was growing up, in that I knew people who were really happy about it and really sort of psyched for it and really hyped for it, and I never played it.
Yeah, I played it very briefly. I played the demo for it. That's how long ago we're talking. I wasn't that impressed with it, but it's a popular enough game that goddamn it's taken them long enough to redo it.
Yeah.
The other thing I'm going to talk about is also a game franchise I don't care about. Ghost of Tsushima's getting I can't tell if it's just a spin-off or if it's a sequel, but Ghosts of Yotai.
Okay.
So it's a Ghost of Tsushima, either spin-off or sequel. There you go. Ghost of Yotai takes place more than 300 years after the events of Ghost of Tsushima, so it's a distant sequel. It's a game set in the same universe.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, again, it's a game I didn't really care about when it first came out. Still don't really care about it, but it's getting a sequel, so there must be something.
Yeah. A friend of ours was really hyped for it and really enjoyed it. It's a very pretty game, or rather, the original was.
I'll take your word for it. I just think it was worth mentioning because I don't think anyone expected it either.
Sure.
So yeah. But yeah, what have I done for my week? I haven't done a lot. Last week I was sick, so I didn't do fuck all.
Yep.
This week I was still kind of sick, but a couple of days ago, literally 2 days before recording, the Mr. McMahon documentary came out on Netflix.
Ah, yes.
I decided to watch it because at the end of the day, I am a wrestling fan. If you know anything about Vince McMahon at all, there's not a lot of new information in this documentary. It covers a lot of stuff, from how scummy he was in the territory days, all the way to the most recent. Technically speaking, it cuts off before the recent allegations, because that happened, those allegations came out during the recording of the documentary, and Vince had one more sit-down interview to do and scheduled in, and he immediately cancelled it and was like, I'm not talking anymore.
Yep, fair enough.
Yeah, I'm just going to go over some key points, I think, because the most interesting thing about this documentary isn't the information being given. If you're a wrestling fan, you know all of this, or you should be aware of a lot of it. The interesting thing is we're getting a lot of these events being told from Vince's point of view, and how little he gives a fuck how much of a horrible human being he is.
Yeah.
This documentary is incredibly favourable to McMahon, and people might think that's a bit of a weird thing to say, but the reason why I say this is because everyone being interviewed, apart from 2 people, has got nothing but good things to say about McMahon.
Weird, but okay.
Yeah, the only 2 people who say bad things about him are Bret Hart, for obvious fucking reasons, and Paul Heyman. But Paul Heyman is a real master at saying things that sound good but are really fucking scathing. So here's the 3 things that I'm going to take away and share with you and share with the audience. Please watch this documentary if you have any interest in wrestling history. The first episode covers the territory days, and if you want to know a bit more about how the territories worked, it gives a very good Cliff Notes version of that. But yeah, back in the early days, there was this isn't the most recent allegations against Vince aren't the first rape allegations he's ever had.
No.
Back in the 80s, there was a female referee called Rita Chatterton. She accused him of assaulting her, and back in the day, she went on a talk show and told her story and everything, and basically got poo-pooed for it.
Yeah.
But that's not what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is Vince's reaction to being asked about her, and he insists he didn't do it. It was all blown out of proportion, this and that. Here's the most damning sentence that came out of his lips, and that was, "The statutes of limitations have passed for that crime, so there's no point in looking into it."
Yep. Oh boy.
At the end of the episode, there's a very, very satisfying moment where they give a bit of a written dialogue of summaries of conclusions to things, and that was the state in which the allegations took place in lifted the statute of limitations on sexual assault crimes, and Vince McMahon ended up paying a settlement to Miss Chatterton.
Yeah.
So,
justice.
No, it's not justice, but it tells you the truth of things. Like they had the steroids trial. That was a very big piece. That was a part of the an entire episode is dedicated to that, more or less. And during the conclusion of the steroid trial, Linda McMahon, Vince's wife, was just like, "Yes, this proves that our locker room doesn't take steroids." And it's like, the fuck are you talking about? This proves that your locker room takes steroids. The only thing this trial did is that Vince wasn't supplying them.
Yep.
Vince is a very slimy character, especially in the courtroom. He likes to say a lot. He's very good at legalese. There's, I think, the most infamous one, in my opinion, and this didn't come up in the documentary, but this is one I remember from a while ago, was during the steroid trial, Rick Rude was called to testify, and he was asked, "Did Vince McMahon ever tell you to take steroids?" Rick Rude said no. "Did Vince McMahon ever make you feel like you should take steroids?" And this is the story Rick Rude told, and that was, he stopped taking steroids because he was trying to have a child with his wife, and when Vince saw him, he said, "Oh, you should bulk up, buddy. I took this to mean that I should take steroids again." Now, technically, Vince didn't tell him to take steroids. That's correct. However, the implication
was to stop not bulking.
Yeah, it's not a good look, I'll put it that way. Here's the other 2 takeaways I've got for you. I was very disappointed to learn that Stone Cold Steve Austin himself straight up said, "I don't believe in CTE. He thinks it's made up." And I'm like, fucking look at the fucking cemetery filled with your dead colleagues and tell me none of them had brain damage.
Yeah.
Anyway, I lost a lot of respect for Stone Cold Steve Austin. There wasn't a lot of respect anyway. He's a very known domestic abuser, but I took him down even more pegs, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And last, Vince McMahon straight up said, "Retired people should just die."
Yep. That's I know someone else who said that.
Do you want to keep that
yeah.
tidbit to yourself? Do you?
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. He tried to enforce it. Let's just say that.
Jesus. There was an episode that straight up made me cry during this documentary because I didn't know they were going to bring it up.
Okay.
They covered the Owen Hart tragedy, which.
Yes. Like even I know about this.
I've never watched that pay-per-view, Rick. I wasn't able to buy pay-per-views back when this aired, so I didn't see it live, thank fuck. And I've never wanted to go back and watch it, because it's just like, the only reason you'd want to watch something like that is out of morbid curiosity, and I don't want to know.
No.
So for those of you who aren't aware, Owen Hart had an accident. It was, it was preventable, but it was an accident.
Yeah.
He
That's about as well as you could describe it.
He was doing a stunt, and the harness he wore fucked up, and he just splatted straight in the ring, as it was described by people who were there. And everybody is pretty much in agreement that the show should have been cancelled at that point. Cut to Vince McMahon saying the audience didn't see it, we keep going. And
oh, Jesus Christ.
And here's the horrible thing, is they show clips of the wrestlers working that night, and none of them are okay. I imagine having someone you work with, that you're friends with, die, and it's like, that's where he died. Go fight in that ring and perform for the audience.
Yes. Yes.
And here's a detail I wasn't aware of, because again, I'd never seen it before. There's blood in the ring. That's Owen's blood.
Yeah, it's not hard to extrapolate.
It's fucked. Vince defends this decision by saying, if it was me, if it was my son or a member of my family, I'd say, no, keep putting the show on. And whether that's true or not, I don't really care. It's not, you don't get to decide what other people think.
Yep.
I know that if I died in the middle of a ring, I'd be like, yeah, stop the fucking show now.
Yeah, turn off the cameras, please.
It's fucking awful. And here's something they don't show in the documentary or tell in the documentary. 1 year later, they film an angle where China gets her quote-unquote neck broke. It's entirely a work. It's not real. And they do they act as if Owen Hart just died in the ring again.
Yeah.
It was fucking awful. But yeah, Vince McMahon is a notorious piece of shit. Anyone who knows anything about Mr. McMahon, or Vince McMahon, the character and the man are blurred, and they make that very clear in the documentary. Massive piece of shit, and this documentary doesn't sugarcoat that fact. You can learn so much more from other sources as well. I'll say no more on it. I highly recommend this documentary. If you don't, you'll get more from it if you don't know a lot.
Yeah, fair enough.
You ready for some news?
Let's go.
Flappy Bird is back, baby.
Oh boy. Oh yeah, because it keeps going away.
Flappy Bird, the property and the IP, has nothing to do with the original creator, because it's been so long since he just wiped his hands of it that a crypto bro company just took it and they re-released it on the phones. Except it's massively populated with microtransactions now, because of course it is.
Oh boy. Yeah.
The original creator's been, they've reached out to talk to him, and he said, I've got nothing to do with it, and I for one believe him.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, if you're playing Flappy Bird, it's not the same guy, it's not the same creator. A bunch of crypto bros just saw that the IP was free now, so they took it.
Yep.
Rick, animalities are back.
Animalities?
Yeah, so in Mortal Kombat, there used to be a thing called an animality, which...
so an animal fatality.
Yeah, so the character just turns into an animal and then does a fatality. They're great, they're awesome. It was a free update for everybody, so as long as you own Mortal Kombat, you now have access to these animalities. A lot of them are fun. Half of them are gruesome as fuck and horrible. So there's something for everyone.
Good stuff.
We haven't got a release date or a lot of information here, but there is a Kickstarter that's going to be, a thing soon. It's called Buy the Multiverse Kickstarter.
Okie dokie.
It is Matt Braley, Alex Hirsch, and Dana Terrace.
Oh, sweet. I'm already hyped.
And the implication is that it's going to be a collection of multiverse works between Amphibia, Owl House, and Gravity Falls.
Yeah, the bye.
But I'm not sure what this is actually going to be, because as of recording, the information on that... Actually, I bookmarked it. Let's see if they've updated it. So give me 1 second. When I initially looked at it, it was just like, this is a Kickstarter that's going to happen. Yeah, no, it's still not launched, but a Studio Bad Egg collaboration with Alex Hirsch, Dana Terrace, and Matt Braley. The description here is, it's all the work of Bill Cipher, emboldened as he is by a New York Times bestseller and the Cipher Cult collection. There's only one answer. It's time for every one of our animated heroes to come together and see off that dapperly dressed evil once and for all. So to me, this sounds like it's probably going to be a comic collection.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, there we are. I've found the Kickstarter as well. It looks really cute though.
Oh yeah, they've already got an animation drawn up, and it's just like, it's all the characters. Like there's not more you could want from a pitch illustration.
Yeah, you've got buy gold, buy, and oh my god, buy, and okay, buy. Really cute. I really like this. I'm saving that picture just in case. Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's going to be fun. This is certainly motivation to go back and watch Gravity Falls to completion.
Yep.
It's one of those where Gravity Falls, I've absorbed a lot of it just from memes.
Yes. Yeah. And I've also seen a couple of clips in YouTube Shorts recently.
Fair enough. But yeah, the final bit of news is we're going to be touching P. Diddy.
You're touching P. Diddy, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he's had his trial recently, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, it started. The thing I'm going to talk to you about very briefly now is that Costco has come out and made an official statement denying that they sold P. Diddy 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
Yeah, I saw the 1,000 bottles of baby oil allegation.
Yeah, so his lawyer straight up said that it was bought from Costco, and Costco's like, we've been mentioned in this really horrible court case, we need to do something.
Yeah. Like, who cares that they got it from Costco?
Costco cares.
Okay. But, like, only Costco cares. Like, people don't care who you bought an abnormal amount of something weird from.
But here's the thing, is, like, I know how Costco works. Like, everything's tied to your account, so they would know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So it's one of those where, like, all Costco has to do is turn up to the court with receipts and be like, yeah, they lied about this, which means P. Diddy and his team lied under oath.
Yep.
That's a big problem.
Yeah.
Yep, so that about does it for the news today. Rick, what are we doing?
We're doing Queen of Villains, Episode 1 on Netflix. If you'd like to join along with us at home, 3, 2, 1, and go.
Righty, guys, so a bit of behind-the-scene information, because I couldn't tell Rick off while cutting, because he didn't give me the chance. I said, "Are you okay, Rick?" And then he just rolled back into the intro, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess we're just going.
Yeah. You've got the choice of English or Japanese for this, or I guess other languages are available, but I'm watching it in English dub with also English sub.
Yeah, I've got the Japanese audio because it's the original, and
okay.
The English subtitles because I can't speak Japanese. Yeah, this that we're seeing right now, I've been told that Dump Matsumoto is the one that originated this look, but this is very much what Paul Nakano looked like as well, with the blonde hair and the intimidating face paint.
Yeah, looks really cool though.
Oh yeah, certainly. Like, I think the most infamous example in Western wrestling for face-painted, fucked-up fighters is probably the Road Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to take a stab at what their gimmick was?
Did they look like Mad Max people?
Oh, wow, done, Rick. It's not like the clue's in the name, but here's the weird thing as well, is they were also called the Legion of Doom, and that name made no fucking sense.
Yeah, because that's something else. Yeah, that's literally Lex Luthor.
So, for those of you wondering, because it might come up in the English dub as well, Rick, female wrestlers in Japan are called Joshi. So, if you hear the word Joshi, that's what they mean.
Okay. I'm trying to assemble the words, because I know, like, Joe is, like, one of the words for, like, a woman. And a lot of things with she are, like, senshi, for, like a warrior.
Ah, okay.
So, warrior woman.
That makes sense. So, yeah, Japanese wrestling, especially...
Kicked in the tits.
Especially back in the day, was very much venerated as technically excellent, but nowhere near as flashy as Western wrestling.
Yeah. This is actual wrestling things as well, not just jumping from the top rope or anything.
I mean, you just saw a suplex, so...
Oh, yeah.
No, by flashy, I mean the characters and the gimmicks. So, you know, again, Dump Matsumoto doing this stuff with the looking like a typical fucking delinquent in Japanese society.
Mm-hmm.
It's very much, not revolutionary, but kind of.
Yeah, with the kendo stick and everything. Huh?
The Extreme Evil Alliance.
Yeah, that's go away, saying in English.
Like, here's the thing, is I've been to indie shows and they do fuck with audience members, not quite to this extreme, but they scowl and fucking make it look like they're going to hit you, and it's the best feeling ever in a wrestling crowd, being scared.
Yeah.
No fucking way was that not a plant.
Oh, yeah.
Like, ripping up signs and stuff, yeah, that's fine, but whacking people, there's no fucking way they did that.
Unless the person was a plant.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, good old anime time.
Well, it's one of those where, like, the common joke is wrestling is just redneck anime, and it's like, Japan has wrestling, guys.
Yeah.
Like, it's very much the same thing. No one gives a fuck about the joke, because it's true. So this actress playing Dump Matsumoto here, apparently she's a comedian.
Okay. Fair enough. So, Yuri and Retriever, is it?
I'm just saying what I learnt from IMDb.
Okay. I'm kind of digging the butt metal.
Yeah, it's alright. We're seeing some things that I've never liked in wrestling here. I fucking hate when they start taking fucking forks and knives and shit and start digging into people's faces. I know it's not real, but it's just horrible.
Yeah. It's like I've got a thing about eyes and things, so yeah, it's like physical disfigurement is kind of a big deal.
Well, it just doesn't look good.
Yeah. This scene is pretty much the only thing I've seen from this entire show, because it was in the trailer. And the trailer is what made me suggest it for the show.
Yeah, fair do. Yeah, I know very little about this woman, but it did mention during my brief research that she did not come from a well-off family.
No.
The fact that she's pawning bottles at the corner shop is probably proof of that.
Yeah, back in the day when you used to be able to do that.
Yeah. Well, things don't come in glass bottles anymore. Except for booze.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just wine and beer these days, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
And Coke.
Yeah, Coke, but that's fancy Coke.
Yeah, fancy Coke. Which, by the way, if you get a fancy Coke bottle and then put it in a glass, then what's the point in getting the fancy Coke bottle? It tastes so much better out of the bottle.
Yeah. I don't know what it is about glass bottles with Coca-Cola specifically. It just makes it taste better.
It does. Like, it even makes Diet Coke taste good.
So here's something I learnt, by the way, about Diet Coke. Did you know they could make Diet Coke taste like regular Coke? They just don't.
Ha! Okay.
They have to make it taste slightly different, otherwise people don't believe it's Diet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
What a mindfuck is that?
Yeah, weird. Underpants string. Yeah.
Do they live next to a train station? Because I can relate to that.
Or just near the... oh, man, what a wanker.
Yeah, I do believe that their father...
Are they coming to demolish everything? Oh, okay, it's the Yakuza, I guess.
No, I'm pretty sure it's just Dad and he's a dickhead.
Okay. Oh, okay, fair enough. I heard just going back to Coke for a second, I heard a conspiracy theory that New Coke was a front for transitioning to high fructose corn syrup.
It's not a conspiracy theory, it's true.
Yeah, fair enough. So when they went back to original Coke with corn syrup, the slight difference was less noticeable.
No, it's entirely true.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like the marketing game, it's all about tricking people.
Yeah.
So yeah, hide in the closet, kids, because Dad's about to beat Mum.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, as if he can't just like punch through it.
I'm going to terrorise my family for 500 yen.
Yeah, it's like £3.50.
Well, this is in the 70s. It might have been a bit more valuable back then.
Yeah. Well, £3.50 was more valuable in the 70s.
Okay.
Do you want to eat the leaf?
I think it was like a dried apricot or something.
Yeah, fair enough.
What dickhead parks on bikes?
Yeah, well, he drove over the bikes and then he parks on them.
Go away, wife.
Yes,
I don't want my mistress to know I have a wife.
This old lady. Oh, no.
I mean, the sad reality is this isn't much of a unique story.
Yeah. Oh, they've even called the new kid after Kaoru as well.
Well, I suspect that's because the dad didn't want to have to remember two names. It seems like that slimy piece of shit.
Yeah.
I did read somewhere, and I don't know how true it is because I couldn't find a source, where apparently one of the reasons why she got into wrestling and fighting in general is that she envisioned beating the shit out of her dad.
Yeah, I can appreciate that.
Oh, that's a bad fall if it fucks your hands up that much.
It does, yeah. Oh, sorry, it is.
Thanks, dickhead.
Yeah. Oh, he's little. Okay.
Well, again, it seems to have been phased out a lot in modern wrestling, but one of the old big attractions was Little People Wrestling. They didn't call it that. They called it something a bit more offensive, but, you know.
Midge fight or something, yeah.
Well, I wasn't going to say it, Rick, because I've got a bit more class than that. Yeah, I think the most recent example was probably Hornswoggle. He was very popular, still is popular. Like, if he signs up at a convention, people will still turn up and be like, yeah, I want to meet Hornswoggle, he's a cool dude.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, like the Little People wrestlers, they used to have skill, but because they were only ever shown in WWF, they were just treated as a joke.
Sure, okay.
Much like how in the 90s...
that tracks.
In the 90s, women were just there because they looked sexy, not for their wrestling ability. In Western wrestling.
Yeah, the divas, yeah.
I think I told you before...
My cousin,
go on.
My cousin had a Divas magazine, and it was basically just a softcore porn magazine for children.
I was going to say, like, I don't know how I turned out as well adjusted as I did watching the Attitude Era in the 90s, in the late 90s. Because, like, they treated women horribly.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're in 79 here, and I mentioned how they won the very first tag tournament in 85, so we're about 6 years away from, arguably, the peak of the career. So, little known fact about your host, Devon. He loves the fuck out of tag team wrestling.
Sweet.
My main source of wrestling is WWF, where the owner notoriously hates fucking tag team wrestling. Boy, am I glad we're getting a revival in recent years.
Yeah. Man, these fights are looking pretty cool already.
I've got to imagine they had a proper... if Dump Matsumoto was involved, I'm sure she choreographed... or at least made sure the choreographer was decent.
Yeah.
Oh, right in the hole.
Just punch the other tag team partner.
You have to, man.
Yeah, otherwise they come to help. Anime time. Yeah!
Double big boot, that's your fucking finish. Oh no, it's not. That was just to set him up for the suplex. I had a very amusing conversation with my mum the other day because she was watching a bit of the Vince McMahon documentary and she just straight up said, I don't know how Hulk Hogan was able to lift Andre the Giant. And I went, Mum, Andre the Giant helped him.
Yeah.
That's how. Yeah, but he's still big. Yeah, but he's not dead weighting.
Yeah.
If Andre the Giant went, I'm not letting you lift me, you're not fucking lifting him. Okay, so this is why I'm saying that there's some kayfabe involved, because, again, everything in the match is predetermined.
Yeah, the outcomes are predetermined.
Fucking, I love how they've cast the sleaziest looking motherfucker as the promoter.
Yeah, it's very on brand.
Oh, she's upgraded from glass bottles to paper round.
Yeah. Yeah, now that she's a couple of years older.
Which I assume is an upgrade, because she actually gets guaranteed money now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit weird, really, isn't it, these days? Like, getting someone a job without their consent.
I mean, you're sort of, yeah. It's one of those where, like, in this day and age, we're in this really annoying possibility where anyone can work in any field. You don't need qualifications as much as you think you do. You just need to have someone who knows someone. Fuck me, they really haven't changed maps at all, have they?
No.
It's kind of magical in a way.
Yeah.
And the only reason I say that is I recently got my polling card through, and I shit you not, like, the exact same design.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not going to look much different on a like a low quality map, not low quality, low detail map like that anyway.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's just interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Bullshit!
Oh, yeah, that's it's interesting
It's bullshit.
to hear them at least pretend it. Yeah.
Okay, again, I appreciate this is set in the 70s. Kayfabe was alive and well.
Yeah.
But they know. They're both in the business.
Yeah.
Goddamn, Japanese street food always looks the fucking best.
Yeah. Especially stuff like this, which yakisoba is just fried noodles.
I know, it's not even
yeah.
You know, ugh. It looks better than any hot dog stand in anything.
Yeah. I had it last night, actually. They sell it at Lidl. You can fry it yourself.
You can also buy it in pot noodle form now.
Oh, yeah, okay, fair enough.
Gotta go your own way. I can't sing because of my current state, but you know.
Way. Yeah.
God damn, I love Japanese belts, as long as it's not the IWGP.
Man, the music just reminded me of the bill for some reason.
No, that's Casualty. You know me. That's a thing they do in Japanese wrestling, the streamers. It's meant to be a sign of respect.
Yeah, make a big fucking mess for respect.
So, again, the problem with wrestling is you can't have a match with no predetermined wrestler because the moves rely on both people working together.
Yeah, especially in, show wrestling. As opposed to traditional wrestling, with helmets and everything.
But again, that's different because you don't need two people to do the moves in wrestling.
Yeah.
That's kind of the point. Now, I might be wrong. They might have had shoot fights back in Japanese women's wrestling. I just fucking doubt it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way you're doing a suplex like this or a backbreaker to someone who's not letting you.
Yeah.
Hey, see, they used to go to the top rope in Japanese wrestling.
Fair enough.
I think the referee doesn't like it.
Well, she dodged it, so...
I think you'll find, 9 times out of 10 when a wrestler goes to the top rope, they're missing the move.
Yeah. But it has to hit sometimes, otherwise people would just treat it like a spirit bomb.
Unless your finishing move is a top rope maneuver, you're probably missing.
Yeah. So the top rope really is the spirit bomb.
Well, I think my favourite one is there's the old joke of if Ric Flair goes to the second rope, he's missing the move.
Sure.
He has never hit a move off that rope. Now, when they said no predetermined winner, they could also be talking kayfabe because there's a good chance that not a good chance. There's a reasonable chance that they could have decided the winner on the fly in the ring based on crowd reaction. But again, it's not not a very good way to run your matches.
Yeah, I get you.
Obviously, spots and stuff get changed all the time because accidents happen, miscommunications, etc. But the actual finishing being changed mid-match is very unusual.
Yeah, like mid-match, I get mid-match being a real, the exception that proves the rule, as it were. I know about face turns, but as far as I'm aware, they tend to be as an overtime reception thing.
Depends on the wrestler.
Sure.
But yeah, let's not understate things here. They just said that match went on for 48 minutes. That's fucking impressive.
It is. Yeah. A boxing match going on for half that time is long.
Well, I'm trying to think, the only matches that tend to go that long are, matches that have more than 2 people in them.
Yeah.
2 performers putting on a wrestling match that's good for that long of a time and not being completely fucked halfway through. It's not it takes talent.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll be very curious to look that match up potentially on YouTube and see how well they performed. But 48 minutes is fucking long.
Yeah.
God, that belt looks good though.
Yeah.
That's so funny having someone shout at the top of their volume, "Hello, everyone," and then just a hi in return.
Yeah. Oh, I thought he was just ignoring her.
It's very interesting having just open auditions as well, because again, it's so different from the like if you go to the West, like the territories in America back during this time, you would not have an open audition for wrestlers.
No.
You would.
It's essentially just academy stuff, isn't it? Like you go through the academy and then.
No, that didn't happen back in the day. No, back in the day it was ghetto shit. It was fucking. You had to go out of your way to find a wrestling school, which was usually a retired or an over the hill wrestler who would teach you. But because they wanted to keep kayfabe alive, they would fucking weed you out, and they'd weed you out by making you do stupid fucking exercises that are not humanly possible.
Ah.
And because they want you to quit. And if you quit, they keep your money. Oh man, that's awkward.
Yep. Yeah, because they've got to do all the singing as well, don't they?
Yeah, that's not something I was aware of.
That they've got to be idols as well as wrestlers.
Not if you're a bad guy, you don't. Oh, I guess these are the people that are going to be judging. Man, look at those old fucking cameras. God damn, that's nostalgic to see.
Yeah, they've got a few of those at the Media Museum near us.
Well, that tracks.
You used to be able to play on them.
Okay.
Yeah, they got some shit ones that they just set up as like camera turrets that you could just like go on it and point it around and pretend like you were a cameraman.
I can understand not liking this human.
Yeah.
Man, what a stellar indictment of his character. So I guess that one line is going to be the impetus for her running off to try and join the wrestlers.
Yeah.
Now
seems like that's going to be like the overarching phrase, as it were. Yeah.
Now, I'm not an expert. I don't know how the show's going to handle it, but I did read that she failed trials 3 times.
Okay.
So it'll be interesting to see if she just succeeds immediately, if they're just going to sort of kayfabe it a bit for the sake of brevity. Abdominal stretch, well-known rest hold. Now, from the term rest hold, Rick, what do you think that means?
A hold in wrestling. Stupid. I don't know. Like, I honestly, other than a wrestling hold, I don't know.
It's a rest hold, R-E-S-T. You put your opponent in it, and you both get to have a little rest.
Okay.
So,
I assumed it had a W in it.
No. Yeah, so a rest hold usually looks like a wear down submission. It looks like, because, the wrestlers are selling it. But in reality, the wrestler's like, I need to catch my fucking breath.
Yeah, okay.
I have a lot of respect for sumo wrestlers in general because that shit looks hard.
Yeah.
And like, that's actually a lifestyle as well. If you want to keep the bulk up, you've got to fucking dedicate yourself to it.
Yeah, you need to, you need a lot of intake to not burn it off when you're, like, super active like that.
Mm.
Is she going to scream?
Nope, she's
No,
going to
gonna do
dance.
kata.
Oh, no, yep, you're right. Look at her, hot dogging, and she's not even gotten into a ring yet.
Yeah, yeah.
I like how everyone's like, what the fuck are we meant to do with this?
So you did all that before introducing herself.
So I can beat the shit out of everyone.
Yeah, she can win an actual fight.
Okay, again, no, it's blowing my mind because they are doing an open audition to people who don't know wrestling is choreographed.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they gave her the time of day, truth be told.
Yeah, me too.
And again, the little guy vouched for her.
He did.
Yeah, to be fair, I'd fucking shit myself too if I realised that, oh fuck, it's the head of the company I'm fucking talking to.
Especially when he's been, the most nice guy on the panel.
True. And now it's like, oh fuck, it's the current world champion and I don't know how to talk. Well, it's interesting how she turns into that little girl again when she talks to her idol, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's some good...
Yeah.
Kudos, actually. That's some good acting. See, the first thing I'm thinking if I'm on the panel is, oh fuck, she's gassed.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that was your speech?
At least they did her the honor of letting her say her name rather than just going, yes, thank you, leave.
True enough. Look, listen, I'm not the most physically fit person in the world, but I'd be crying after 3.
Yep.
Alright, to be fair, I can see the reasoning for you to be able to walk on a tight beam.
Yeah, because if you're going to need to go on the top rope, you're going to need to be able to balance.
Okay, so there's a move called Old School, and it's the coolest move ever, where you have to walk along the top rope.
Okay.
It's very much synonymous with The Undertaker at this point, but a bunch of people have used it.
Fair enough. Like walking on the actual rope, yeah, cool.
It's impressive, especially seeing Undertaker do it. I don't know if you've ever seen The Undertaker, but he's tall and he's big.
He is, yeah. Yeah, that's a bit real. Like I remember having to do that kind of shit for like rugby practice.
It's also how wrestling is done as well. If you want to weed out people who don't have the drive, it's keep having them fail again and again and again until they quit.
Yeah. So it looks like they're going to show her failing one time at least.
Fair enough. Man, how does the song go? You get knocked down, but you get up again.
Yeah, ain't never gonna keep me down. Pissing the night away, pissing the night away, pissing the night away, pissing the night away.
It's one of those as well where, again, it's something we brought up on the podcast like a dozen times, it feels, but like failing is often a good thing.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel very good when you do it, but it fucking builds character.
Oh yeah, definitely formative.
Oh, that's a slap in the face.
That stings. Oh boy. Even the English right now is done pretty well right now.
Oh, fair do. Here's the thing, it's very much portrayed that this first audition was an impulse decision. Like,
Yeah.
It is a physical... wrestling is a very physical thing, despite what some people might think. And it's not something you can just decide to do.
Yeah. Not as a whim, yeah.
Can anyone be taught to wrestle? I fundamentally believe that yes, you can be, but you can't just do it.
Oh no, it's like a lot of sports. Like some people are built more advantageously for certain activities. Just on a physiological level. I'm not even talking about fitness. I'm talking about like actual, like the way that someone actually is. But most things, yeah, you can rise to a challenge.
I remember, here's how much I like wrestling is I legitimately looked at wrestling schools at one point in my life. I never went further than that because I quickly realised that I don't want to suffer pain.
Yeah.
Like, wrestling looks like it hurts, so I don't want to do that. But I looked into it once, and one of the things that legitimately depressed me was, we welcome all comers to our school, but for the love of God, if you're going to do some wrestling practice, wear fucking deodorant.
Oh boy,
and I'm just like, fuck, that is too real.
Yep, it's something they have in common with frickin' local game stores.
Yeah.
Wear deodorant, have a shower.
So again, this is actually very interesting because this is how they do it in the West as well. They get you to do bullshit levels of exercise. They just did essentially a run. And he's immediately told them 500 squats. 500 squats is a bullshit amount just to do.
Yeah. Oh man, they've got to start over because of her. Oof. The answer is no, you don't anymore.
So yeah, I guess they are treated like idols.
Yeah. I mean, good on him for not just dropping her immediately.
The implication.
Yeah.
Like, I still like... one of the funniest things to me is how kayfabe got... One of the reasons why kayfabe got broken is the Iron Sheik and Hacksaw Jim Duggan were sharing a car. They got busted by the police by marijuana. No one gave a fuck about the drug use. They were just like, why the fuck is the Iron Sheik in a car with Hacksaw Jim Duggan? Is that not mind-blowing to you?
Yeah.
I do like the hypocrisy of no smoking, no drinking, no boyfriend, and here's this guy in the bell just smoking a fucking ciggy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the whole do as I say, not as I do thing.
Wrestling's so fucking filthy, man.
Yeah.
Not so much these days, but in the 70s it was fucked.
Yeah, I guess it's a bit more sanitized now.
Well, now, back in the 80s, it was like, after a wrestling show, what do you want to do? I'm going to do a fuck ton of blow off a hooker's ass. And nowadays, it's like, what do you want to do after the show? I mean, Elden Ring just came out.
I'm going to stream Undertale.
Like, Austin Creed, Xavier Woods is like, I love that man. He is just such a nice person.
Yeah.
His two passions are video games and wrestling.
Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't the best lock-up, girls.
No, it's this is more of a playground fight at the moment with ropes.
Oh, fuck me, and she can't run the ropes. Oh, this is painful to watch. And what I love about this the most is that at the beginning they showed us the professional champions doing it, and just by comparing it to that, you're like, you can tell this isn't good wrestling.
Yeah.
Man, 2 passes out of like 8. That's not good.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. It's the most basic thing a wrestler has to be able to do is run the fucking ropes.
Run back, bounce, and smash.
I mean, again, it's fucked, but their policy is to try and make people quit.
Yeah.
You got to
get your money, make you quit.
Yeah, you got to either you got to both 1 really want it, and you 2 have the skill to do it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a very famous story of, unfortunately I can't remember the bloke involved. It might have been Paul Heyman, but it might not have been. But they saw Stone Cold Steve Austin run the ropes, and they went, that guy is going to be the best wrestler ever.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. I think on a technical level, it's really hard to say whether or not he's the best wrestler ever, because he got a career-ending injury very early on, and had to change to a brawler rather than a wrestler. But, you know, as far as money is concerned, I think Stone Cold might be the biggest draw in history.
Maybe. Okay. Be interesting to see that compared to like a inflation adjusted Hulk Hogan.
He drew more than Hogan.
Okay.
This might be their way of showing us that she failed twice before succeeding.
Okay.
I'm glad I got subtitles, because without them I would not have known that there was a sound there.
Yeah, it didn't even say it on the sub that I have.
Oh, my sub it said door creaks. It's interesting because we should have the same subtitles.
Yeah, we should.
The fuck is this now?
An intruder. Chigusa, I believe, means others.
Okay. Oh, she's been sleeping at the gym because she doesn't have a home. Oh god, that's also too real for wrestlers back in the day.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, she doesn't eat.
There's some horrible stories of wrestlers on the road, even as little as 10 years ago, where they would wrestle for about $100 a night, plus they get concessions. Like, it's just like, okay, $100 and I get some popcorn and a hot dog.
Yeah, and that's their food for the day, yeah.
And you gotta remember, these fucking wrestlers' physiques as well, they need to eat.
Yeah. Yeah, they need the protein.
Saying that, I saw a recent clip of an interview with The Undertaker where he lived with the Big Show, and they had a cistern, a septic tank, because of where they lived or whatever, and Undertaker said that in 6 years living there, he never had to empty it. Big Show was there for 6 months and it filled up. And I'm like, it's just like, and Undertaker straight says, Big Show can't help it. He's big. He's massive. He has big shits. Although I will say as well, this is pretty realistic in the sense that back in the day when kayfabe was real and alive, wrestlers wouldn't know that wrestling was predetermined and scripted before their first matches.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's a very famous case of Stone Cold Steve Austin, again, his first ever match. He was like, shit, that guy's probably going to kill me. And it wasn't until the promoter took him to one side before he was going to go out and debut and said, okay, this is what's going to happen.
But you realise that, yeah, it's, you're either a winner or a loser, yeah.
Like, that's fucking wild to me. Devil Masami. Jesus.
Die count.
That's a heel right there.
Yeah. Yeah, what should be like the nicest person so far?
Oh, I don't know. I get the feeling she's going to fucking stretch him.
I don't know. Oh man, I like her already.
Here's the thing, is I'm so used to horror stories from Western trainers of like, they're all buddy-buddy, they get you in the ring and then they fucking hurt you.
Oof, yeah.
Oh, dickhead's home. Oh, body language speaks a fucking 1,000 words, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it? Oh, fuck no.
Very silent right now, but this is a very horrible scene we're watching.
It is, yeah. Oh, what a piece of shit.
I get a feeling we're going to see some physical violence in a second. Like, that's a horrible thing to say to anyone, full stop, but bear in mind, that's his daughter.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so... And this is apparently when it is most tolerable, according to the mistress.
I don't think she said tolerable, I think she said fun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, nothing more manly than, punching your wife and then threatening to beat your children.
Mm-hmm. Yep, 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 yep. He's gonna hit her back now.
It does feel like she's going to get one back. Yeah.
Surprised he didn't spit. Go hide out. Go hide out.
Well, here's the silver lining is I think Mum will very easily be able to convince Dad to not do anything about this, because I think he has got too much pride to admit that he was beaten up by his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Just bear in mind, there are dormitories at the wrestling gym here. It's just you're only allowed in them once you graduate to pro.
Yeah. So they're just breaking in and sleeping under the ring.
Well, she must be quite a heavy sleeper to not hear any of that.
Yeah, like you say, the big motivator being to beat the shit out of her dad. Yeah, you can really see that in this one episode.
I think the phrasing was actually kill, but I tamed it down a little bit.
Sure.
Well, see how well this is. That's true enough. That's very much the attitude a lot of wrestler hanger-ons had.
Yeah.
I don't care about the wrestling, I just care about how much merch we sell.
Yeah. Whether your merch is food or like physical stuff.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting how they're doing a protest on the 2 minutes before a show starts.
Mm.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to get the Boston Crab. Again, it's just so baffling, this fucking trying to blur the lines between kayfabe and real. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me to do this. Again,
time for the heroic second wind.
It's meant to be scripted and like not pre-rehearsed, but you know roughly what's going to happen. You know who has to go over, and it's like it shouldn't matter if you win or lose. You just got to display your skill. But like, it's so weird that they're just having it being shown as if no, this is all real.
Yeah.
Because like. If this was a real environment, Matsumoto would be selling here. This isn't a real injury.
Yeah.
Oh, set her up for the 619.
Oh. Time to use that as face paint. She smells blood. She tastes blood. Bloodlust in time.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to, like, streamline this first episode so that she's the heel at the end of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. It's just like, I don't want to wrestle this person, please. This is a really interesting one as well, because again, they're showing this back and forth, and it looks like Matsumoto's straight up fucking elbowing her in the face, whereas when the other lass has the ability...
She's just slapping her on the collarbone,
Yeah.
No, don't call it. Let's watch the carnage.
Hey man, the referee hasn't fucking asked for the bell, so you don't ring the fucking bell.
Yeah, time for a dental appointment.
It's an interesting place to stop it, but yeah, as a wrestling fan, this first episode has been quite infuriating.
Yeah, a little bit.
I hope I've conveyed to you as to why I was annoyed at certain parts.
Yeah, a little bit.
But yeah, we've got quite a few minutes of credits, but I'm going to ask, because I'm genuinely curious, as a non-wrestling fan who's been barely exposed to wrestling in general, what did you think?
Like, it was entertaining. So, I liked a lot of the early stuff when they showed the pro side with like Marky and Jackie.
Mm.
When you saw what they're going to be evolving into. So you see both sides of it in the beginning of the journey from the middle of the episode onwards, and the supposed end of the journey at the beginning.
Yeah. Like, again, I did some research into this, so I know that the ultimate end game is that Matsumoto becomes the top heel in the company.
Yeah.
And in general, heels have shorter shelf lives. Because, you can only be a villain for so long, because ultimately you have to be defeated.
Yeah, you gotta lose. And like, even if you come back, then it means that your face wasn't as good in retrospect because they didn't put you down for long enough.
Yeah, it's one of those weird ones. Like, we've had a storyline in WWE and modern now, this I'm talking about, where Roman Reigns has been a dominant heel for like 3 years, maybe longer. I've been very much dipping my foot in and out of the wrestling scene, and Cody Rhodes recently took him down, beat him. And usually when you're beaten as a heel, you have to come back at some point, and Roman Reigns came back recently as a face.
Okay.
And that tends to be how it goes. You got this bit of a revolving door where it's it's very difficult. They try not to mimic real life fighting too much. In real life fighting, what happens is you keep winning until you lose, and then that's it. Really, your career's done.
Yeah.
Can't do that in wrestling.
Yeah, you got to have a career after that. You got to have your comeback story.
So you get knocked down, and usually you'll have to get built again. Sometimes you get built and you're back in the title scene, but oftentimes you get dropped down. Back in the 70s and the 80s, a lot of things that would happen to the bad guys was they'd get beaten, and then they become a fucking joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're still very much firmly in the Japanese credits here.
Yeah, I saw one of the songs was just called "Dump the Heel."
Yeah, I'm going to assume that was Matsumoto's actual wrestling theme.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a fictional story based on real people and real events. Yeah, we kind of figured. Thank you. I've only been bitching about it for half the episode.
Yeah. We just got a minute of international credits after this now.
We do, including the English voice cast. Courtney Lynn. Oh, there you go. Maki Ueda, WWE superstar Alexa Bliss. WWE has to have a mention.
Oh, Xanthe Huynh was in there as well.
Ah. Then again, I suppose they need to put WWE in that because Alexa Bliss isn't her real name, I don't think.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah, sorry, you were going to say?
Like, I know Xanthe Huynh from Fire Emblem Heroes, and she's also in the game that I auditioned for.
Oh, okay, very cool. Are you allowed to talk about that?
There's not an NDA on it.
Just making sure, man.
So until I get picked up for it, I can talk about it as much as I like.
No, fair enough. I just thought I'd ask because I've never auditioned for a voice thing, but I assume there's usually a level of, hey, don't fucking talk about this involved.
Once you're picked up for something, then there might be an NDA. The other thing is I would have to ask for permission to use those voice clips on a reel.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So, because, the script is technically a copyrighted piece of, media.
Yeah.
Even though it's just words.
Yeah, I get you. Interesting you should mention this, but come to think of it, I saw a clip of Neil Newborn not too long ago talking about how when he auditioned for Baldur's Gate. Because when he auditioned for it, it was just an audition for generic fantasy, blah 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 blah. And he said he flipped through the script and he auditioned for like 10 different voice lines. And because Neil Newborn is a big fucking nerd, he looked at the names of the characters and it was just generic races. And he went, these races are a lot like D&D races. And he said he immediately went, this is either going to be an Icewind Dale 3 or a Baldur's Gate 3, and I have to be in it.
Yep. Nice.
Yeah. And obviously he got a pretty big role in it. He got an award for it, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. He got voice actor of the year for it. Yeah.
Good job. He had very stiff competition that year as well.
Yeah. Totally.
But yes, we've already briefly spoken about our thoughts on the episode in general. Let's get down to our brass tacks and the finale, shall we? Rick, what was your favourite moment?
As much as it was kayfabe, it was the Maki and Jackie double team, double kick, lift, and suplex. That they're like their tag team finisher. It was pretty early on, but I liked seeing that because that was like a peak of what we're going to be working towards. So I thought that was cool to see.
That's always the highlight of tag team wrestling, though, is tag team maneuvers.
Yeah.
Even the simple ones that are, we're going to do a suplex, but there's two of us doing it, so there's twice as much damage. That's the kayfabe logic.
Yep. It's like two-handing a sword. Like, it does twice as much damage because it's two hands. But yeah, how about you? Do you have a favourite moment?
Yeah, it wasn't much long after your one with the actual match between Jackie and Mackie. Jackie? I'm getting the names fucking well wrong.
Yeah, Jackie and Mackie, yeah.
It was a good match. The glimpses that we got, I had no complaints. I was like, yeah, this feels like a fucking wrestling match. And the revelation at the end that in reality it went on for 48 fucking minutes. I don't know if that's a kayfabe number or if it actually did go that long, but that's a long time for one match.
Yeah, it's a hell of a detail. Whether it's true or not, it's a hell of a detail.
Absolutely. However, we can't only talk about the good, we also have to talk about the bad. Rick, do you have a weakest link for me?
It's one of those where obviously it's a part and it's a character, but I fucking hated the dad. And
here's the thing: I don't think that could be a weak link because you're meant to.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're meant to hate the guy. He's a real downer in the story, and like, would the story have been the same without him? Definitely not. Like, it's hate the guy, want to see him, like, as you say, beating the shit out of, possibly dead.
I am pretty sure that given the direction at the ending of this first episode, he's not going to be a factor again.
No. How about you? Do you have a weakest link?
Yeah, my weakest link is that they're trying to blur the lines between reality and fiction here. They say it at the end of the episode where it's dramatization based on real events, and I get that, but very specifically the non-kayfabing of wrestling, where they're like, we're in a modern age, we know wrestling is choreographed and scripted, you don't need to make it look like people are really killing each other in the ring, we know that's not happening, and the people involved are going to know that's not happening, so having everyone portray it as real is a very odd decision.
I get you.
Like, and I love wrestling, I fucking love it, I know it's scripted, I know that wrestling is very damaging to the body, but I also know as a wrestling fan that no, Hulk Hogan doesn't want to kill Andre the Giant.
No.
Or rather, Hulk Hogan the character wants to kill Andre the Giant the character, but Terry Bollea does not want to do actual harm to, I don't know Andre the Giant's real name, so this might have been a bad example, but it's one of those where it's very confusing. Like, goddamn. I just want to point out very quickly, I'm just reminded of a very brief interview I watched where it was a wrestling podcaster was being interviewed by someone, and he said, why do you want to watch wrestling? It's fake. And the guy immediately said, why do you want to watch a movie? It's fake. That's different.
Yeah.
No, it's fucking not. It's the same thing, you fucking knobhead.
yeah, exactly.
Obviously, but here's the thing, is that podcaster I'm talking about did a much better job at defending position than, it's the same thing, dickhead. Because that's what I do. Anyway, I digress. I have a lot of feelings about this, Rick, because I've enjoyed wrestling since I was 5 years old, and it rubs me the wrong way when people go, you know it's fake, right? And it's like, yeah, I know it's scripted. Everyone knows it's scripted. We know what's going on, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, like, you know the costume is a costume. Like, like, it doesn't mean that it's not the character that they're playing.
The argument that used to do my head in was like, people get legitimately hurt wrestling. Not because the Boston Crab fucking breaks someone's leg, but because these are very physical things someone has to do.
Yeah, you can do something as safely as you like, and as safely as you can, but you're still hitting the ground.
Oh, like, count the amount of bumps a wrestler does in an average match, and it's like, that's gonna hurt. At the end of the night, you're gonna be sore.
Yeah, it's like getting into a car crash. Well, like, okay, for rugby, I can say it's the equivalent of getting into a car crash every match.
Yeah, it's like, anyway, it does my head in, that's all I'm saying, and I've had to carry this torch for fucking 25 years.
Yeah.
Rick, let's end on a highlight. Who gets your MVP today?
It's gonna be a weird one. I'm giving it to Kid Dump.
Okay.
Because I really felt for her as a kid. Like, she's not exactly an old character as a teenager, but as a kid, yeah, really felt for that kid because she was going through hell, and just the physicality of just falling over in the rain, bleeding from the hands, and just, yeah, it's. And you also saw the wonder in her eyes as well, as she was looking at Jackie as a young child.
Yeah, I appreciate the distinction here, because young Matsumoto here is she's like, it's hard to gauge ages because I suck at them, but she's like under the age of 12. Whereas at the end of the episode, we know she's not in school anymore, so she's anywhere between the age of 17 and 19.
Yeah, like late teens. Yeah, but yes, I'm giving it to the kid version because, like, you know, the kid kid ain't showing up again.
Oh, there might be flashbacks. We don't know.
Oh, there might
and
be.
I bet those flashbacks will still be better than Book of Boba. Yeah, I will bring it up every time we have a flashback.
But yes, how about you? Who's going to be your MVP?
I'm going to give it to whoever choreographed the wrestling matches.
Who that might be Dump Matsumoto herself?
Possibly. I don't know. Unfortunately, the only English cast they bothered translating is the voices.
Sure.
They didn't tell us the names of the Japanese people who actually worked on the show. That was just during the Japanese scroll. But yeah, it was. It was very well done, and the reason why I say it was well done is the wrestling that fucking sucked, and the wrestling that was good is like, yes, this is what wrestling should look like.
Yeah.
Like, the only difference is obviously in a fictionalized setting where you're not actually recording the match for the sake of recording a match, it's for the sake of cinema, is you got a bunch of camera angles and you can pick the best one.
Yeah, absolutely. It was even cool that you even saw them like doing multiple camera angles within the shots. Like when they were recording at the end, you even saw people with cameras because it was very obviously shown that they were recording it for their sizzle reels.
Yeah, it's interesting because but those camera like there were certain shots during specifically the professional match which wouldn't be possible.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think it was very well done. And again, someone who doesn't know what good wrestling looks like will be able to get a brief glance into what wrestling should look like from that first bout.
Yeah.
And how dog shit our amateurs are.
Yeah.
But yeah, that about does it for today. Thanks for joining us as always. That is The Queen of Villains on Netflix in our books. I think it's safe to say we were both entertained.
Yeah, we were indeed entertained.
Let us know your thoughts and opinions in the comments. Doubly let us know if you want to see us recover more wrestling related things in the future, because I know I'd like to.
Yeah, I'm up for it.
And just a brief preview for those of you who are made it this far. We're in October officially starting next week, so we're going to start our month of spooks.
Yes, we're doing, well, you'll find out, but spoiler, if you made it this far, it's Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, exactly. We've got a theme, and we're going to stick to the theme. Let us know in the comment section what you're hoping to see from Scooby-Doo, and also let us know via email if you've not got a comment section. Where would they send that email to, Rick?
nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com.
Yes. And every day I start to think, man, we could just pre-record these outros.
We could, but we didn't.
Exactly.
It makes it personal each time. But yeah, rate, comment, subscribe, share.
Yeah, and hopefully join us next week for another review.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.